What's going on, you gamers? Today we're going to be jumping back into a bit more Diablo 4, and what I'm going to be covering is something I think every single person should know. A lot of you may already have enabled this, but if you haven't, this is something that is a must. So if you want to know the number one setting that is going to help you in this game, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back everyone. Today is going to be a nice easy video, but it's one that will help a lot of people out who may not already know this. Now the days till Diablo 4 is fully released is just around the corner, so one thing I would say is I'm going to be covering this in abundance. I think this game is amazing and I think it'll be around for quite some time. So if you'd like to see a lot more content from me, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. But from there, one tool tip that I think is kind of a guaranteed must and should have been enabled from the start is going to allow you to see exactly what's going on with your gear, your weapons, and if you've got a god roll straight away, rather than you having to work it out or look on the internet. So if we go to right here, my character here, and I click through some of my gear, if you have a little look, it's going to give you an abundance of stats. That's an awful one to look at. So say that one there, it's going to give you all of those stats, but you're not actually going to know if the random rolls are good, bad. You'd have to look it up, or you'd have to actually have the knowledge of knowing exactly what the top end is going to be. Classic example of that would be something similar to this. So it shows you how much overpower we've got, shows you how much your damage to close range enemies is, core skill, damage to stunned, how much for your all stats, and then of course it's got your aspect to the bottom. But how do you know if it's a god roll? These could be good, they could be bad, you have no way of actually telling. However, with one click of a button, that's going to all change. So now we're going to go straight over to game and go to our options, click on this, and then you're going to go all the way across to gameplay. Once you're here, go all the way down, and two things that should have been enabled from the start in my opinion is going to be Advanced Tooltip Compare and Advanced Tooltip Information. This is going to save you so much trouble, it's going to make your life very easy, and it's one that probably should have been enabled from the start. So we're going to save that, and then I'm going to show you exactly what it does. So now we're back in the exact same screen, and now when we look at our stats right here, it's going to give you everything that they can roll. So as you can see, this one's now got 10 strength, it's between a range of 9 to 14. Down the bottom for the aspect, we've got 3 fortify, so I know that's at the very top end of what that can roll. This one setting is going to enable you at a glance to see if you've got a god roll item, or completely chuck it in the trash when at the start you might have thought it was very good. So again, if we go right down to what I was looking at earlier, now we're going to be able to look straight at all of those stats, and whereas before I might have thought this was a very good item, it does 40% extra damage, that's amazing. However, it is the lowest that we can actually roll on it. So in the grand scheme of things, this is about as bad as it actually can get. So if I found another legendary with the same thing attached, I'd hope it would be much more towards the 80% mark. And also if you go over to your skill tree, so if we look at it right here, gives you all the modifiers, gives you percentage, but ultimately you don't really know exactly how much damage you're going to do. You can kind of work it out roughly, but it's not the easiest without these tooltips enabled. You see there, just gives you a kind of next rank damage and how much you're going to be doing with your percentages. But now we're going to turn them both on again. Now with it enabled, we're going to look at things with a much clearer picture. So as you can see up the top there, dealing between 67 to 82 damage. So we've got an actual number rather than just the kind of percentages and working it all out ourselves. This really does open up the game, and it makes your life much easier. Probably something that pretty much everyone should enable, just to make sure you know what you're doing and you can see things very fast. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what class are you going to be maining at launch? And as always, like I said, there'll be loads more content from me because I am really looking forward to the game's release. As always, Wolf Gaming, take care. I'll see you on the next day.